Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, it seems like the writing's on the wall. It seems like the inevitable is happening. Despite the tantrums, despite the denial, despite the vicious pushback. I mean, I think this clip from last week pretty much puts it into clear context.
But citizen journalism is the future. Yeah, that's why X is the future. It's citizen journalism, where you hear from the people, it's by the people, for the people. That's what it's all about.
Elon Musk has been saying that we are the media now. The legacy media is dead. It's an archaic, outdated model that has been outdone by independent media. And of course, when Elon Musk was first saying this, when he was saying we are the media now, there was a big pushback. Mainly this guy claiming that's never gonna happen. Our jobs are too important. We're too special. Regular people could never do what we do, right? That's the argument. But I'm not so sure this guy's rallying cries are really having an impact, because it seems like many of the talking heads at the mainstream media are essentially throwing in the white flag. I guess Elon Musk was right. I guess we really are the media now. Let me show you guys what's going on as the fallout of the 2024 election continues. The leftist legacy media is falling apart, and even they know it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so obviously there's been a lot of denial, but that's pretty much expected within the world of mainstream media. It's a sea of denial, but every now and then, in this massive ocean of delusion, there's a little piece of floating debris, a little piece of floating truth.
We are way off. The entire political class is way off. First of all, digital is a new door knocking. You got to understand that. We were laughing our butts off at Donald Trump for suspending his door knocking campaign and letting Charlie Kirk and Elon do a bunch of stuff online. We said, these guys are idiots. These guys are stupid. Then you start knocking on these doors. You know what people come to the door with? Their phone in their hand. They're in a 24-hour digital surround sound that has nothing to do with CNN, has nothing to do with any stuff that we do. I got a teenage son. I asked him, who are the most influential people in the world today? I'm thinking to myself, he's going to say Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z. He says, Kai Cent, Aiden Ross, Jinxie, and Sketch. I don't know who he's talking about. I said, what platforms are you on? He goes, I'm on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. I said, that sounds like you need to go to the hospital. What are these platforms? I'm telling you guys, the mainstream has become fringe, and the fringe has become mainstream. There are platforms, there are people out there that are getting 14 million streams, and we're on cable news getting 1 or 2 million. And so there is a whole world out there. Kellyanne Conway, I hate to agree with her, but I do a lot of times. Donald Trump understood that, and we didn't. And it's not just Democrats that don't. The entire political class is way off, way off, way off.
And there you go. And you know what? It's kind of funny. And actually, I think he mentioned the perfect individuals. He mentions that when he asks young people, and especially young men, who they think are the most influential, they name Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, Jinxie, and Sketch. It's not exactly an all-star crew of intellectuals, but if anything, that puts it further into perspective. All these supposed authorities on the issue, all these authoritative sources who think they're at the top of the world, at the cutting edge of information, at the biggest networks with the most influence, in reality, at the end of the day, they're less influential than 17-year-old Fortnite streamers. We are the media now. It's over. It's fallen apart. Nobody's watching TV. I mean, sure, it's on in your grandmother's living room. It's on at the nursing home and on at the airport and a couple local bars. But in terms of popular culture, and as society changes and the next generation comes in, it's obvious that nobody's watching this crap. I mean, look at MSNBC, once again hitting rock bottom lows. MSNBC hits rock bottom, 3 different shows record all-time rating lows in the same week. Per Fox News, Alex Wagner Tonight, Inside with Jen Psaki, and The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell all saw historic lows in terms of viewership, all within the span of the same week. Alex Wagner, whose show basically fills in for Rachel Maddow's Monday-only show, saw a paltry average of 595,000 viewers. Former press secretary Jen Psaki saw her show draw 651,000, and Lawrence O'Donnell hit an all-time low among the advertiser-coveted demographic of adults aged 25 to 54, where his show drew just 61,000 of the key demographic viewers. You see exactly what I mean, right? It's the fossil media that's been spooking our grandparents, essentially crumbling before our very eyes, on a path towards complete irrelevancy. It's happening, and the 2024 election was the first catalyst, in my view. You know, the first event that's really starting to speed up the process here. After Donald Trump's tremendous victory, I think a lot of people, especially politicians, are realizing that regular people with independent shows on online platforms are essentially doing the same thing that the mainstream media is doing, but they're doing it better, they're doing it more authentically, they're doing it without editors and big corporate bosses pushing narrative above reality. In other words, you got regular people who are doing it better and they're doing it with less. Like I kept saying, why would Donald Trump have to show up on 60 Minutes just to get a couple million views while they treat him horribly on air? I mean, why even do that to yourself when you could show up on Joe Rogan and have a real conversation with over 100 million listeners tuning in the first week alone? You know, what's the purpose? Just go on Joe Rogan. The legacy media, in my view, seems to be on its last leg. And while some people are in denial about it, other people, again, just like Van Jones, they're seeing what's in store for them. Speaking of 60 Minutes, here's 60 Minutes' Leslie Stahl basically coming to the same realization as Van Jones.
If you watch the opinion of us, how many people trust the press anymore? I mean, we're way down there with the lawyers.
Yeah.
This is really rough, as you know.
You're way down there with Congress.
I despair. Seriously, I worry greatly. We're at a point where if the President of the United States is going to say legacy media is dead, well, I guess Musk said that. Legacy media is dead.
And he wants it dead. He wants other media.
But it is kind of, sort of hobbling right now. And I don't know how it recovers. I'm very dark about it.
Leslie Stahl worries that legacy media is dead. And what's funny is she seems confused. You're confused, Leslie. But your infamous interview with Donald Trump back in the 2020 election was, again, to use the same word, probably one of the biggest catalysts that led to this phenomenon. It's freaking over, and the leftoid journalists are seething. They're blaming everybody but themselves. They're finding all kinds of excuses, like, oh, it's just misinformation that's winning the day. Donald Trump is so good at spreading misinformation online.
You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't
Look, let me
put
tell
on
you,
things we
The
talk.
media is fake, and frankly, if I didn't have social media, I'd have no way of getting out my voice.
Do you know what you told me a long time ago when I asked why you keep saying fake media?
Yeah.
You said to me, I say that because I need to discredit you, so that when you say negative things about me, no one will believe you.
I don't have to discredit you.
But that's what you told me.
You've discredited yourself.
It's the right wing's independent media apparatus misinforming people. No, it's not. It's people running away from the legacy media, from you establishment liars, you status quo enablers, and going to better sources of information, going to grassroots sources of information, going to people who are actually doing it for the right reasons. I'm telling you guys, we're at a cultural inflection point. I think the media landscape's about to change forever. I think mainstream media is about to face total, full-on collapse, especially as these younger generations grow up. Independent sources are winning the day, and the big corporate media establishment, well, it seems like their days are numbered. And don't take my word for it. Take Van Jones and Leslie Stahl's words. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.